Okay, we'd like to open Mahoning County Commissioners meeting number 43, Thursday, November 9th. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes. I'm so mad I had my little pin that they made me at Walmart like 20 years ago that says honor those who serve, and had my dad's picture in the military on it.
Yeah, you always were.
Yeah, I wear it on Veterans Day and it's funny because I put it in the envelope, I put it in the top left drawer of my desk, and I put it face against the front,
You want to run home and get it?
So I always know where it's at because I'm always looking for it.
Carol.
So yesterday I was last night I was writing bills sitting on my desk, and I took it out, sat it on the desk, said I gotta take this when I go in the morning. And lo and behold, left it sitting.
Because you were running late and you got nervous.
No,
and you left it there.
actually I wasn't running late. It's one of the first times I
I
was.
know the feeling.
He was early because he was here before me.
Yeah, so anyway,
Okay.
good morning. We will open our meeting up with public comments. Anyone has anything they'd like to say, we'll give you 3 minutes. Give us your name and address and all right. We're gonna let you give us your dissertation again. You did such a great job last time,
Yes.
the other night.
Thank you. Maybe a little less nervous today if I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 42 from Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. Approval of bills for payment.
So moved?
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Travacani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, journal entries.
Motion approved journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Travacani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, agreements, CMA 911, Robin.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
This is part of a translator service that 911 uses, and it's a continuing contract. And I'll move on to number 2 if you don't have any questions. Okay. Number 2 is also continuation of a contract for a service agreement to maintain the weather sirens. And it's out of the general fund.
Good deal. How's the wing coming along?
All good.
Good.
All good. Get some therapy. Range of motion is very important.
Yeah. What, Audrey?
I was gonna say correction, that would be non-general. Capital project one.
B.
B, so we'll have to
Oh.
change that.
General. Take that back. Go ahead, it's general. You're good.
Okay.
That's your maintenance agreement.
All right, you're in big trouble, Audrey.
I know I am.
Don't confuse us any more than
I
we're there.
know, I know.
All right, engineers.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Letter C is an agreement with Lindy Paving for a North Lima Road emergency slip project. These are for repairs done to get us through the winter until we can do the main emergency repair by Lake Evans Dam. The estimated amount is $27,200. These are non-general funds.
Okay, thanks, Brad. All right. Paste. Where is Phil? Okay, Phil.
Good morning, Commissioners. Letter D is an agreement with American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control and healthy homes work, 329 Charles Avenue, in the amount of $18,650, non-general. And letter E is an agreement with Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Service for our environmental pollution liability insurance for a 3-year period in the amount of $13,221, also non-general.
Okay, thank you. Sanitary.
Commissioners, letter F is an agreement with Agilent Technologies. This is for services to the instrumentation system used in the laboratory for 3 years in the amount of $1,592.20 for the first year. These are non-general funds.
Thank you. Sheriff's Department. Joe.
She is a user's license agreement with Veridian LLC for service to streamline our CCW tax from the checks at no cost to the county. And H is an agreement with Attorney Patricia B. Wagner to prepare, administer, grade, and report exams in the amount of $3,000, which is non-general.
Thank you, Joe. Agreements.
Motion to approve agreements, letters A through H.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Change orders, engineers.
There's letter A is change order number 3 with APBN for the Mahoning Bridge Paint Rehab Project in the amount of $49,242.85, non-general funds. And I just want to make a note, the Lovell Bridge is used on a flyer that the County Engineers Association is sending out for one of our upcoming conferences. So there's a blue bridge on it. That's the Lovell Bridge. Lovell Blue.
all right.
Louisville Blue.
Changed the color of the bridge to match the school colors.
How neat is that?
So we
Really?
allowed
Very neat.
we allowed the village to decide what color they wanted it, because it was a green, the truss bridge going over the river, it was a green bridge. It's now blue.
I think that's
They
good.
are working on trying to figure out how to hang a rocket on there without affecting the integrity of the steel or the paint. That's yet to come.
So we can do that all over the county with bridges and all, like Poland and Youngstown and
Struthers,
Austin
we're putting
Town.
Bobcats on all the Struthers bridges.
There you go.
Okay, well, Austin Town.
Bulldogs on the other.
That Louisville Blue, it doesn't look like that puke blue that is in Pittsburgh when you go into the airport on that bridge, does it?
So I think it's specific to.
It's pretty dark.
Is it dark? Okay. Because that one's like real powder blue. It's,
I'll get a copy of the flyer. I know it was emailed to the mayor and to APBN.
I think that's good. Connecting with the city and the villages and the county. Good deal.
all right, well, thank you, Pat. I'm glad that it's Louisville Blue. Jimmy Duchiani will be happy.
He's taking all the credit.
I'm sure he is. Okay, lead-based.
Letter B is a change order with W&W Construction for Healthy Homes work at 2574 East Midlothian Boulevard in the amount of $300, non-general.
Sanitary.
Commissioners, letter C is change order number 1 and change order number 4 with Rudzik Excavating for the 5 Points Pump Station. Number 540. Change order number 1 is a deduct. Change order number 2 is an increase due to a change from force main to gravity sewer on the west end of the project. This is all off-road. It was a design change made late in the project.
And Pat, that's the one that we had a lot of discussion over with respect to it. The maintenance and upgrades and improvements.
Operations and maintenance of gravity sewer obviously is much more beneficial to the department in the long term. Maintenance and care and ease of access when issues arise, because they will, it's a mechanical system. It's more beneficial to the department. At the time of the design, there were some issues with how the sewer could be installed. So it was determined at that point in time to directional drill force main. Since then, some things have changed, and the U.S. Army Corps has given us the authorization to go ahead and install gravity sewer through open cutting, which is a little bit easier and less expensive to install, but you have additional material costs added to it. But at the end of the day, it's a long-term approach, and it's more efficient for us to have gravity than anything mechanical, electrical, things of that nature.
So if the Army Corps would have been the deciding factor initially, it would have been designed as a gravity flow and not
Most likely
mechanical.
it would have been. Again, the design originated in, we're saying 08, 09, prior to us being at the county. And these are all things that are looked at when they do preliminaries and analysis. And like I said, just because of the constraints of installation, the only way to get it through at that time was to directional drill, so you had zero disturbance. Well, now Army Corps has, again, over time, changed some of their requirements and restrictions and have given us permits to go through and do certain things as long as we don't disturb any of the wetlands and restore the property back to its original state when we're done or better.
Probably better.
Okay, just wanted to emphasize that we've had multiple meetings on this to,
Yeah, these are design changes. They're not results of unforeseens in the field or errors or anything of that nature. These are more owner requests to just make the entire system operate a little more efficiently at the end of the day. You know, force main and gravity are gonna function similarly, but when you run into issues in a source system, when you have force main, you have to shut pumps off, you have to have capacity. It makes it challenging to bypass if you need to get to a certain point in the system. By having gravity soar, you're able to access the line through manholes, and it just makes the maintenance a lot less difficult.
thank you, Pat,
Thanks,
appreciate that. Okay, motion to approve change orders.
Motion to approve change orders, letters A, B, and C.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, number 1 additions.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, Commissioners OMB, a resolution approving the public hearings on the sales tax for Mahoning County. So we have a renewal of the justice tax, and this is a formality to initiate it to be placed on the ballot.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, basically it is a renewal for additional 5 years. And I think that the agencies that are in the fund have been very good stewards, and the commissioners have been very transparent. In our newsletter, we separately record the funds, we separately report on them. And everyone has done a great job of allowing this to bring stability to that side of our government.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. Commissioners OMB, resolution designating all of the unincorporated area of Green Township as restricted area for the purpose of prohibiting the construction of any large solar facility or large economically significant wind farms. Anything else on that, Audrey, you'd like to?
I do want to say, commissioners did do 2 hearings. The last hearing, I appreciate Green Township. They did an excellent job of presenting their information to the public. The audience was overwhelming in support of banning it. And I think that everyone did a good job of presenting their cases. And everyone did get a chance to talk. I mean, pretty much anybody who wanted to get up and talk, we were there. And the commissioners were there, and they were there to listen to the public. Green Township also presented to commissioners with a survey of over 800 signatures for the banning.
Sure. George, anything you'd like to add?
No, I'd just like to say, thank you to the commissioners. Again, I think the township residents stated their case. Green Township, that's what the residents want. I think the people that presented our case did a thorough job. They did a lot of research on it. I'd like to, thank them. And Randy Chismar, because they a lot of time in
Yes.
we would appreciate you imposing the ban in Green Township.
George, I think that what really was emphasized at the meetings we had, especially and obviously the one in Green Township, was that, for 20 years that I was trustee in Austintown, I always felt the state looked at us as second-class elected officials as township trustees. They really never gave us our just due with respect to having our finger on the pulse and doing the right thing on behalf of the communities. But you and your colleagues, really emphasized and reiterated that your community, you work hard on behalf of it, and you do what's in the best interest of the community. So I just congratulate you and give you a ton of credit and respect. It doesn't matter how big or small the communities are and how big or small the townships are. Normally, the smaller townships, the elected officials do a lot more work than the bigger townships. Because I know that when you have 40,000 people, you have a larger staff. but I know a lot of small townships that don't have the budget to have staffing, and a lot of them do their own snow plowing and do a lot of different things. So, God bless all of you, elected officials, community, and I'd love to go out and buy about 10 acres in Green Township. And Anthony, you have anything out there that you could?
Beaver,
Beaver, so.
I'm close.
You're at the highest peak in the Mahoning.
Isn't it? So you guys are all to be congratulated. Thank you.
Not that anything else in Mahoning County isn't beautiful, but when you drive in, you see the exhalation that goes up. Beautiful.
No, I concur with, Dave and Carol, and, that's the beauty of having public input. And my goodness, you couldn't have asked for a better place to hold a public hearing.
Wow.
Everybody was there, and it was really nice, and everybody got to speak. And that's what we need to hear. That's why we were there, to hear what the residents had to say, and we heard them loud and clear. And we thank you for doing that and standing up for your township and listening to your residents, as Dave had said earlier. So
We had 380 people. So
There was more than that.
there were more than 380 that we
Some
required.
didn't sign in.
Some did
That's
not
just the
sign.
one signed in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that goes to show,
People get involved.
they're really involved when it becomes their home. It's good. That's good to see, really.
And the stats and the facts, Mrs. Burns, I'm telling you, it's just was very well prepared.
Yes.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Okay, move on to data.
Morning, everyone.
Ah,
This is
there you
a
are.
resolution for approving a moral obligation payment of $1,066.62 to Continuum Parent LLC for Screen Connect licensing. This is a software that allows our technicians in IT to remotely connect to each computer and perform remote work and maintenance.
Thank you. All right, EMA.
Morning again. This is the acceptance of the local emergency planning committee grant. It's state money in the amount of $32,468 with no match.
Okay, thank you. Engineers, Pat.
Commissioners, letter E is a resolution authorizing the president of the board to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or Local Transportation Improvement Program for the 2024 Road and Bridge Safety Upgrade. Letter F is the same, but for the Mahoning Avenue Industrial Corridor Upgrade Project, which is under design, which is going from State Route 45 to Duck Creek Road on Mahoning Avenue. It also includes Rosemont Road from Mahoning Avenue to Palat. So there'll be a multitude of paving, reconstruction, bridge work, all through that entire corridor.
Okay, thank you. All right, you're still up. Did you get both of them on
I
that?
did both E and F,
I
yes.
got you on F too. Okay, Human Resources, Karen.
Good morning, everyone. This is a resolution to approve the collective bargaining agreement with the Communication Workers of America, Local 4300. This represents the employees in the microfilm, building, and solid waste departments. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate the hard work you put in to get that accomplished. Sanitary, Pat.
Commissioners, letter H is a resolution to approve the sanitary sewer easement elimination in Meander Glen, lot number 4. This is a sanitary sewer easement that was put in place years ago prior to Pineview Drive having sanitary sewer. The intent was to get sewer into the Pineview Drive development. It has since been installed, so this easement is no longer needed.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you getting that through too to assist the local builders. Okay, a motion to approve resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, letters A through H.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. All right. Relatively painless. Jennifer? How are you?
Pat, do you have to leave?
How's everybody doing?
Thank you.
You get
get that down.
Thank you. Jennifer, we'd like to figure out a way that Aqua can get some vodka running through our lines instead of just regular water. You think you can help us out with that? Preferably Tito's because it's gluten-free and my wife's gluten-free.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you for having me here today. So, my name is Jennifer Johnson. I'm the area manager for Aqua Ohio. We are the water provider for about 23,000 customer connections in Mahoning County. We locally negotiate our water rates with the elected officials of the communities we serve. The county commissioners represent the interests of our townships where we serve. And so we are 2 years into our current 4-year rate plan. So we wanted to take the opportunity to update the commissioners and the public on activities that Aqua has undertaken since the rate agreement was enacted, and just give updates on the investment that we committed to making when we passed the rate agreement. So just the first page there is just a reminder of the rate plan that was agreed upon in 2021 and went into effect in January of 22. It shows there that what the rates are gonna be the next through the duration of the rate plan and the impact to the average customer. So the average residential customer uses about 3,900 gallons a month. And you'll see what that average bill looks like each of the years of the rate plan. And the increase for the customer, the average customer, is just roughly, $2.50 a month. But with this rate plan, we made a commitment in these service areas to invest $27 million in capital investment over this rate plan. Our philosophy has been small incremental rate increases that don't have huge impacts on our customers so that we're able to invest the money to maintain and improve the water facilities versus maybe waiting 5-10 years with no adjustment to rates and then having to come to our customers with a larger rate increase to absorb. And this philosophy works well and seems to be well supported in all the communities that we serve. I mentioned that we have about 23,000 customers in Mahoning County. So this includes the city of Struthers, the villages of Lowville, where I'm from, which is why they're talking about the Blue Bridge in Lowville. Poland, New Middletown, and then the townships of Beaver, Boardman, Canfield, Coatesville, Poland, and Springfield. In 2020, we purchased the city of Camel's water system. We negotiated a separate rate plan with the city officials through that agreement, and those rates are in effect through 2024. The plan is that the city of Camel will be rolled into our rate negotiation process the next time we come, and so we're gonna be all under one rate plan starting in 2026. The next page is an update on the capital investment that we committed to in this rate plan. We committed to $27 million. It's budgeted there, as you see, at the capital investment commitment line. We have some flexibility as priorities come up to shift the dollars from year to year, but at the end, we want to make sure we invest at least $27 million. 2 years in, you'll see we have about $11.5 million through this year will be invested. And then you'll see in 2024, we have a budget of $10 million. In 2025, $7.5 million. So at the end of this rate plan, we anticipate the investment to be about $29 million. The next page is some of the highlights of this spend. So the first 2 years of the plan, 22 and this year, we replaced the main on South Avenue in Boardman, as well as Southern Boulevard. These projects combined were over $5 million. And these projects were scheduled in conjunction with the county engineers. These are targeted or paved. South Avenue's paved, Southern Boulevard will be paved. And so we like to coordinate that, especially for projects of this magnitude, so that we're coming in before the pavement.
We don't like digging up new pavement.
We don't like digging up new pavement. Yeah. Sometimes it happens when things break and we do what we need to do to restore it back to original condition. But in projects like this, it was a great coordination effort.
That was a very good coordinated effort. We appreciate Aqua. They moved up the South Avenue schedule and we backed up the Southern Boulevard schedule to work together to get those done, just because it's practical and makes sense to get the underground done first.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you. We appreciate we have a good working relationship with Pat's department. At our treatment facility, which is on 170 in Poland Township, that's the water is produced there that serves our whole area here. We are rehabilitating the filters. We're putting new media in our filters. As you can see, it's a big undertaking. It's about a $1.5 million investment. Again, age, that plant was put in service in the early 1900s, 1910, 1908. And again, we just, rather than wreck it down and build a $50 million water plant, we just retro upgrade it over the years so that it comes up to current standards. Water main repairs, nobody likes water main breaks or water outages, but I think what we do well is we have very little impact to customer service when we do have water main breaks. We're able to quickly isolate breaks so that maybe 5 or 6 customers are impacted. We fix them immediately. So it might be a 2, 3, 4 hour temporary water outage. And the ones that where we're actually replacing pieces of main because the break is big enough, we've already spent about $850,000. And where that came from, last winter, if you recall, the deep freeze of Christmas and New Year's weekend, we had crews out around the clock. That was a rough week, but with temperatures like that, we expected it. And I'm really proud of our crews, and we supplemented with some contractors to keep up with those so that our customers weren't out of water around the holidays. We replaced main just recently on Route 289 and Hubbard Road in Lowville and Poland Township. It was a relatively small portion of main, but it was a main that was from 1916. And it serves as a major feeder to our Hubbard Road booster station, which serves Coatesville Township, the north end of Struthers, and ties into Camel. So it was a really important feeder main that we wanted to get out of there because we want more reliable service. We saw a lot of breaks on that old main. You may have seen, if you drive on McClurg Road, we painted the 2, we're in the process of painting the second tank right now. So we have the advantage of having 2 tanks there. We're able to take one out of service and run the system on one while the other is being painted and some repairs. So the capital portion of that is $272,000. It's a lot more to do that, but the way utility accounting works, you capitalize a certain amount of it, and some of it has to come out of operating and maintenance expenses. We made some booster station upgrades and some pumping equipment upgrades within our plant. The next page shows a little snapshot of what we have planned for the next 2 years. We have $8 million set aside for water main replacement. This is sometimes, we end up needing to use that money for other emergency repairs. So we're really hoping that we can use what we want on main replacement. One of the big projects coming up is going to be Market Street. That is an area where we've seen multiple main breaks. We're focusing on that. And then I marked there focus on lead areas, and I was going to talk about that in a minute. But the federal government is coming out with new lead and copper rules, which are becoming a lot more stringent on utilities to inventory and identify where there might be lead service lines in the system and put us on a plan to replace those. So we're still waiting on a lot of those details, but we've been spending a lot of time looking through old records and coming up with ways that how do we inventory them. We know where the lead areas are in our systems. And this is one of the misconceptions that people have. There's not lead in water. There's lead in pipes. And you can control that through treatment techniques. And we do. We soften our water. We take great care in making sure that the pipes stay coated. But anytime there's any kind of disruption, whether it be a main break or something, we have guidelines we have to follow. We have to communicate to the customer. We have to tell the customer they have a lead service line, and it's up to them if they want to change that or not. We give them filters and so on. So what we would like to do is target some of our main replacement dollars in areas where we know there are lead service lines. That way, when we replace the main, anytime you replace a main, you replace all the company side services as well as you notify the customer if they'd like to replace their side of the service. So that's how we're going to prioritize some of those dollars. The big project that we would, Pat can appreciate this, is the Hamilton Dam spillway. You may or may not be aware, Aqua owns Pine Lake, Evans Lake, Burgess Lake, Hamilton Lake. I think I got them all. And we're responsible for upgrading those. So the Ohio Department of Natural Resources has rules. This is called like the probable maximum flood. So what they think could be the worst case scenario rain event we can have, and can the dam or the spillways handle it? So we're up against some upgrades that need to be made at Hamilton Dam to make sure we're meeting those standards. And that's a $3.5 million estimated project. So we can't kick it down the road anymore. We think it's in good working order, but we have to meet the
If
standards.
you don't fix it, that Lovell Bridge is gonna be gone.
Yeah, exactly. So that spillway work is gonna get kicked off
Or to be
next
painted
year.
red and blue.
Yeah, it's kind of tucked away. This one's kind of tucked away and hidden over there by our dam. We're looking at some treatment optimization and sludge management solutions at our plant. Kind of the next phase of our plant upgrades in the next couple of years would be about $2.5 million. Water main meter replacements. I don't think people realize all the time what we do with water meters. So water meters have a life of about 20 years. That's an industry standard that says after 20 years, they could slow down. They cannot accurately measure consumption. So we have our meters on a 20-year replacement plan. And again, we have 23,000 meters. So we like to bite off about 1,000 a year to keep up with that replacement. And we budget about $250. That includes parts and labor per meter to replace those. We'll be making some upgrades to our Tippecanoe booster station, which is the booster station that feeds the new Canfield tank. So that's in need of some upgrades. And then our Woodward tanks, which are located in right where Poland and Struthers meet there off of 170 and Matthews Road area, will be the next tanks in line to be painted and repaired if needed. The next slide here, I just want to share this with the commissioners and the public. Aqua offers some customer assistance programs that people may not know about. There's 3 different options here. Any customer that calls our customer service line would be advised of these programs should they have trouble paying their bills. But I thought it's just worth noting that we have several options for customers if they run under hard times, if they need assistance with their water bill. The next page, just some things worth noting. I mentioned the lead and copper rule. We'll be focusing on inventory and a replacement plan. The commissioners may recall a couple weeks ago, I sent out an email to be on the lookout for misinformation. I don't think I need to tell anybody how prevalent that is these days, especially with social media. And most recently, we came across an ad on Facebook that was calling out our water system specifically about being contaminated with PFAS. And you may have heard PFAS in the news. And absolutely no truth to what the ad was saying. We quickly reported it. They took it down. But in the meantime, we knew people saw it and shared it, and we were just trying to get ahead of it. And I just sent out email reminders about that. We saw that a lot with East Palestine as well. We're close to East Palestine, but our watershed is completely separate from East Palestine. And it took maybe a couple hours for things to go on social media and get shared of people saying something was wrong with the water in the city of Struthers and that it was impacted by the spill. So we spent a lot of time, effort, and resources combating that misinformation during the East Palestine incident. And then on a more positive note, I just want to mention that our employees, we have 24 employees in this division that serve these 23,000 customers. And we have maintained an impeccable safety and compliance record. This picture's a little hard to see, and that team with the picture on the right, I think it was 3,000 days they went at the treatment plant without a lost time safety incident. So and it's still going. So we celebrated that accomplishment with them.
Hey, speaking of like chemicals and misinformation, is it true that they're putting something in Youngstown's water that's making my hair fall out? I think that's something that's in the
There might be some
Youngstown water.
misinformation there, right?
I think I read that on social media, because I had a lot more hair before I started washing with Youngstown water.
Maybe Aqua's water grows hair, so.
I like that.
Yeah, you should drink
I'll
ours.
have to move to Lowville.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine's still growing. I got aqua, mine's still
I
growing.
know, see that?
And then the last slide here, the next to the last
I think it's what you mix
slide.
with your water.
Well, I don't mix anything in water.
We don't take lightly our role that we play in being a community partner in the community we serve. One of the things that I like most about my job is the ability to control and make decisions and partner with community members on charitable contributions. Those decisions are made locally. We may not be, cutting big checks and doing big check presentations, but we do small And we spread it around, so if the school system needs something, we help out. We help out in all the communities that we serve. These are a list of some of the things that we participate in on a regular basis. Our employees were cooking hot dogs at New Middletown Day, which had Springfield Township and the Village of New Middletown residents. We donate the water at Celebrate Poland. We have ads in different high school athletic programs, food pantry donations. We had an Earth Day volunteer event last year, and I'm involved in the Struthers Rotary, and so we try to partner with the Struthers Rotary on different projects that they have going on. So those dollars get to stay local. Our employees, our management team, we live here, we work here, we drink the same water as our customers, and we think that's important. And lastly, there's a picture of the beautiful water tank in Canfield Township that was a partnership between Aqua and Mahoning County. The work to get that project kicked off was before my time, so I can't take the credit.
For your time.
But I was able to be here to see it come to fruition,
Yes.
2016, 16? Because I've been area manager since 2015. And that serves a highly growing segment of the county up there in the Kensington area, and it keeps growing. And it's able to provide adequate fire flows and water needs for that growing area of the county, which is the far western border of our service territory. So we thank you for your partnership and for trusting us to provide your constituents what we call, Earth's most essential resource. You can't live without it. So, any questions?
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
That was a great update. We really appreciate that, yeah.
And I must say, you are the community.
Thank you.
You are. Everywhere we're at, you're there. So wherever it is in the areas that you service, you are there. Even the areas you do not service, you're there. So that's a leader.
Thank you.
And you're females.
Okay,
You keep going, Jen.
any department heads or electeds have any comments? Anyone? Audrey, I have to ask you so that you don't holler at me if I don't,
Thank you, commissioners. No, I don't have anything at this moment for you, but thank you so much.
And that picture of Mike Adams up there, I guess that was his high school picture that comes up on his screensaver up there.
Yes.
So.
That's who I aspire to be.
He kind of looks like Aaron Burr or somebody. That's not a good picture of, it's a good looking young guy from the 1800s, but I don't know.
Tesla.
It's what?
Nikola Tesla.
Tesla.
Time travel, kinetic
Yeah,
energy.
that was the one that when in school, they made you hold on to that electric thing, then
You
they
see
turn
that?
it on, you
Yeah.
didn't feel anything. But if they turned it on, then you grabbed it, it shocked you,
Yeah,
you know?
gotcha.
So I remember that Tesla, the little shock test that they did. Audrey, anything you'd like to add?
You guys are starting budget hearings. I commend all of our departments for putting in responsible budget requests and to get this done and balanced and moving into 2024. Ooh,
Wow.
It's your flu.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. No, again, I just, Green Township, thank you for being here. Great working relationship all through the years. Jennifer, I gotta tell you, anytime I ever had a problem with a property or my house or whatever it may be, or constituent, I would call her on the phone, and I tell you what, it was addressed within a day. I mean, there was no BS. It was taken care of. If they had to dig a line out or in front of a property, within a few days, they had it back to where it should be. And never an issue with Aqua, and they do a lot in the community, especially Mothy Park. You do those hot dogs, you get water away down in Lowville. You're everywhere. And everybody that I've had an experience with in Aqua, they've all been like Jennifer. Everybody's been very nice and caring. She always returns the phone call, and I appreciate that. And I've known her and her family forever, and you're doing a wonderful job. Glad to have you. And congratulate all the individuals who won their elections. Yesterday was a big election day, a lot of big issues on the ballot in the state. But to our local officials, congratulations to those who were victorious. That's it.
I have to agree with your comments there and Dave's comments, and thank you, Green Township. Thank you for hosting us. That was a wonderful meeting, and it showed the concern of your residents. And it's a lead for others to see the concern of the people, and that we listen to what the people want in their areas, because they have to live there. So thank you. Jennifer, thank you, as always, very thorough. And everyone else that's worked hard this week, have a great weekend and enjoy the holidays, start getting ready for the holidays. I mean, you can't miss Christmas. I mean, they didn't even get through Thanksgiving and we have Christmas decorations and trees, and you think, oh my God. Oh, and Veterans Day, yes, thank you. Veterans Day is Saturday. I was with Jimmy on Wednesday, St. Joseph's School at St. Anthony's had a big veterans program, and he was the lead speaker. And all the kids were there. What'd they have, Jim, about 300 people?
Kindergarten to eighth grade.
Oh my God, they were fabulous.
They were, and to have a speech to capture the attention of someone in kindergarten all the way to eighth grade is a real challenge.
But you know what, Jimmy? They were very silent. They listened to what you had to say
Yeah.
because you related to them.
It's a grandpa now.
And I'll tell you, I have to commend Father Swires and Mrs. Jablonski on, as the principal of that school. It just gave life to St. Anthony's Church. So you did an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Every year he'll call you.
That's okay.
So,
Wow.
thank you.
Yeah, my colleagues have touched on everything that has really been important and amazing this last couple of weeks and things that have been going on. And, thanks again to Green. And, it's good to get the feedback and the input. Everybody was, 500 people there. I think 300 and some signed in, and probably 75 spoke, and Anthony and I made it off the back of the stage without falling into the
Pool.
into the baptismal pool, it's at ground level, and it was big enough for us
Thank
to
God there was
fall
a
in,
light
yeah.
on back there, let me
And,
tell you.
But yeah, what a beautiful facility that was, and a venue out in Green. And so, we respect your opinions and input and feedback, and did an amazing job. So I thank you again for that. Jennifer, it's easy to compliment you because you're an amazing person. You do a good job on behalf. You're a great ambassador for Aqua, and you keep the communications open with everybody. You do an amazing job of reacting, and getting things done when the need arises. So, and the partnership with Aqua, when we did the water tower, it may have initiated, before you and I or our board collectively made up like it is. But, when Ducut burned down and there was issues with getting water and getting pressure, and the building going on in that general vicinity, there was a sense of urgency that kicked in, and everybody made sure that they worked together and collectively to be able to bring this picture. And I'm glad you didn't paint it Lowville blue and the aqua one there. So anyway, maybe the letters are Lowville blue on the dark blue. But great job there. I had an opportunity also to go out this past weekend to the Birds in Flight grand opening.
How was that?
And Heather Merritt is the young lady that owns it. And I met her about 2 years ago when I found an owl on the road that was alive, and I picked it up and ended up taking it to Trumbull County in a very small residential subdivision where she lived to try and get the bird, recuperated or whatever was wrong, identified. And now she moved out to Route 46 beyond the fairgrounds right there, and she has 80 acres. And what an amazing facility. They have like tiki huts that are out there, probably 20 feet in diameter. There's, I believe, 5 or 6 of them. And they have one bird in each one. And it's really amazing how they have to segregate them. There's a turkey vulture in one that somebody found the small bird, fell out of the nest and thought it was a turkey, right? Thought it was a turkey, right? It was only this big, not realizing it's a turkey vulture. So turkey vultures are instinctively attack other birds. And when they raised it in human captivity, they thought the person who befriended it was the person or was the breed that it was. And it immediately started to attack people.
Oh, wow.
So I mean it's so unbelievable the stories, what people do when they take something out of the wild and try and a lot of the birds that were there had those situations taken out of the wild. There was a bald eagle there whose mate attacked it and tore its wing apart.
Oh.
And it can't fly at all anymore. It can hop about 2 or 3 feet, but it's still an ominous sight and a strong bald eagle that's pretty ticked off, that he's in this cage and can't fly, and in this room. And I mean, they all have stories, and those were just 5 birds that you can see. A lot of them, there's potential to have other issues that are going through some type of treatment. There's like 150 that they have that you couldn't go look at and see. But she had 80 acres and there was beekeepers there, which are amazing. I watch that on TV a lot, the beekeepers and stuff, and they have nests. And I met the one woman who's a beekeeper there that told us, how they have to try to find queens to colonate them and different things that they do. And sometimes they go to a worker bee and serve it as the queen. And, and then they become I forget what they called it, like a renegade hive or something, and they attack others, so many different things in nature that we don't know about, but, I'll stop there. But it was an amazing thing, all run off donations, so people that put their heart and soul into causes, crusades, issues, and raise money to help assist in some way, shape, or form. And so that was, everyone, and they, I donated money because they were taking care of my owl, right? And they kept it 3 months.
Did you bring it home?
Well, I asked, that she called me and told
The
me.
next thing.
She called me and told me, I mean, it was laying on the road with its wings spread out and cars were driving around it. And I looked and I pulled my truck beside it and stopped. And it looked like a falcon or, a hawk, it looked like a hawk. And I looked down out of my truck window and the head was turned. You could tell right away when you saw the head, it was an owl. And its eyes were blinking. I thought, it's still alive, So I had this big quilted blue blanket in my truck. So I just scooped it up and I took it off the road and ended up taking it there. And we originally thought it flew into a car, it was stunned. And then after they were going through treatment, they found that it had obviously eaten a rodent that had been poisoned. So they get this toxicity into their system. And they kept it until it was able to eat on its own and capture its own prey. And she called and said, we're going to let the owl go today. And I said, well, do you want me to come get it? Because I found it by Meander, by my house. And she was in Trumbull County. And I said, I can come get it and let it loose where it lives. And she goes, oh, it'll be there in about 3 hours. They'll go right back to where they came from. So it's just pretty amazing, the instincts and stuff. And I too, like Anthony said, congratulate everybody that won their elections. I'm happy for all of our children's services and the levies that passed in Mahoning County, the people, and the mental health and children's services, and just do a phenomenal job to take care of the people within our community. And, you know, those levies that passed and the people, win or lose, you know, God bless you all for, you know, taking the time, putting your name on the ballot and putting yourself out, you know, for people to judge on. A lot of people don't want to be judged, you know, but we all, you know, are in some way, shape or form, and we ultimately all will be, you know, so God bless you all, and remember that, you know, most of us here in this room are better off than a lot of people, so help those who you can, so. With that said, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Thank you.
Our next meeting is Thursday.
Oh, yeah, our next meeting is Thursday, November 16th in Anthony's backyard on Palm.